Well, I have no idea. I have no idea why the internet in the Philippines works the way it does, but I will tell you that huh, the internet, as Scott Del Fuego so conveniently and truthfully coined the phrase, the internet in the Philippines, baby. I was just getting started with some of my $10,000 Fazio wagers because apparently there are people on the internet that are continuously trying to prove me wrong or prove me to be a liar. So I would go through, I'm going to wait for a few more people to show up, and then I'm going to go through the wagers that I have made in the past that no one has ever taken. Occasionally, you'll get somebody who thinks they can take one of my wagers from $1 to $10,000, and then they realize that whatever was going through their mind at the time they thought they could take the wager and win, they lost that train of thought, or they lost their train of thought, believing something so absurd could take place that they could wager me on something I wager about and win. They cannot. So we're going to go through some of those wagers. Welcome back, says Warren H. And we're going to be welcoming Warren to the Philippines. Now, what I'm not going to do, I don't know if it was my computer cable that got disconnected somehow, and I don't know if it was the internet, but they both went off at the same time. We did have what I would call a great storm early this morning, so perhaps that storm moved to another location. So let's talk about Warren coming to the Philippines while we get some people here, and then we'll go over some of the wagers that people have been reluctant to take, although they falsify information on the internet, stating such things that are easily provable or not provable. So what they're basically doing is they're committing slander and libel. But that's how people are on the internet. So, but I will just give you one slanderous and libel statement. Well, I'm not sure if I would say it's slander. I was privy to listening to about, 60 or 70 different comments and places on the video on YouTube that said that Michael Fazio never owned a house in Key Largo. So we have a $10,000 wager on that. So why, if there are so many wonderful YouTube researchers out there, otherwise known as sperm collectors, why, if there are so many wonderful people out there that have all this grandiose ability to research stuff, why would they say I never owned a house in Key Largo and they're sure of it and yet not take the $10,000 Fazio challenge, which would be to their benefit if they could prove I didn't own a house and I made a wager like that. So that has been proven beyond doubt to be a lie. I did own a house in Key Largo. I owned several properties in the Florida Keys, as a matter of fact. But either way, we will talk about some more challenges that have gone unanswered in a few minutes. So the next thing I want to tell people is, because it's in the title, Warren H. is coming to the Philippines. When he gets here, we will go to a law firm and we will do some paperwork. And then Warren H. will be a partner in my hotel construction project that does, in fact, have all the legal dots and crisscrosses and T's and all that other stuff. It's already in place. So that would be another $10,000 Fazio challenge. If someone were to grow a pear and say, I refuse to believe, and this has happened, that he has plans or permits to build a hotel. So that would be another option for anyone out there to take that has stated, I don't have plans, I don't have permits, and I can't build a hotel. Why don't you take that challenge? If you're so sure. So see, the problem is you are afraid or can't afford your ego to lose one of the $10,000 Fazio challenges. You don't have what it takes to back up your statements. So when I hear repeatedly, and these videos and commentaries and things like that, they have been duly noted. When I hear repeatedly that I never owned a house in Key Largo, or I don't have plans and permits to build a hotel, well, we're going to take this one step further. Now I'm going to make Warren a full partner, and Warren is going to build the hotel with me as my partner, and of course, make sure that there is a Warren H. Pavilion on the second floor. That's going to happen. Now, because of the lockdown, we can only estimate Warren's arrival date at July 15th, but that's an estimate. It could change, could be before, could be after. But when he gets here, we will find a proper legal attorney to make the contract between myself and Warren legal. That will be just one of several legal venues that we will perform while Warren H. is here. Now, he plans on being here a long time, so we have plenty of time. And in addition to that, I want to make up my friend. I see my friend Carl Vella. I see a red sticker. Got to be Carl. No, it's not. What challenge would you like to take me up on? What challenge? Stop running your mouth. Make the challenge. Let's find out what you got. Let's find it out right now. Take me up on the challenge. Which one do you want to go? And what do you want to lose? And when? And how can we meet? Let's just get it all out right here up on the computer screen. First of all, I've never seen your name before, but you're a liar. You're probably some fraudulent account trolling my account. But let's go. I made two challenges. One that I owned a house in Key Largo, and one that I have the plans and permits to build a hotel. Stop running your mouth on YouTube and get it up there on the screen how we can meet. Yes, that's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means. I have plans and blueprints for the building, and I'm ready to build. Stop running your mouth and figure out how you can get here with $10,000. Don't worry about anything else. Just worry about how you can get here with $10,000. And then we'll take it from there. Just don't keep running your mouth on YouTube asking questions. I'm telling you, I have plans and permits to build a hotel. Let's go. Let's get it done. Put your telephone number up there. I'll call you right now. Globe number and our U.S. number. And if you're not here in the Philippines, I won't be able to take your money. But let's just stop running your mouth on YouTube and take the challenge. Don't be some tough guy in the background. Take the Fazio challenge. Let's go. I have plans and permits in place. Okay. So you're not going to take the challenge. You're just another one of these trolls. Okay. So if you want to do this, we can do this. I am telling you, Region 6, I have plans and permits ready to build. You're telling me I don't. WAGER Put some money where your mouth is. Put it where it is, because that if I don't see information how to get in touch with you, then I'll know you're just another troll on YouTube. But I want to continue with this. If you think that you can take this challenge, I want to go ahead with it. Don't make any mistake about this. Okay. So those were 2 challenges. Now, Region 6, he's got a big mouth, and he's going to lose $10,000 on YouTube, baby. It's going to happen in public. Region 6 is going to come here, and we're going to sit down, and I will show him the plans and permits. But Region 6, you already know that you will not hear from Region 6 again. So what I think Region 6 is simply nothing more than a troll. But it did get me of, yeah, let's do this. I like when people try to take my challenges. As I said in the beginning, no one's ever taken any of my challenges, ever. 10 years, I have videos up to prove that the Ark of the Covenant's on the dollar bill. Oh, we have more commentary from Region 6. Let's see. Okay, he's just trolling now. Okay, he's just trolling now. Leave him. You can leave him up there. This is what trolls do. He wanted to see me get Fazio. What he wanted to do was to see if I would back up what I said is the truth. And what I did was back up what I said is the truth. Now, we know, I knew he's a troll, because that's what they do. They're going to try to get me to show you everything online. No, you're going to come to Bahal with $10,000, and I'll put it all right there on the table. So that's a $10,000 Fazio challenge that has been placed now, well over a couple of years. That challenge has been available. And yet there are still people running their mouth on YouTube that I do not have the plans and permits. So if he makes one more worthless comment, it just proves that he's that much more worthless of a troll. Well, let's see what we got going on the board here. Okay, yeah, you see, he backed down. He backed down because Region 6 is one of those blah, blah, blah. Kind of like a gossip girl, where they go blah, 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 behind your back, but Region 6 doesn't have the spine to back up what he said on YouTube. Of course, it's a troll account, but Region 6 doesn't probably also have $10,000 to lose. And if he does think that he can win, why doesn't he go ahead? He doesn't want to put his telephone number up on YouTube? Why not? These cell phones have blocked numbers. You just block, you look at who it is. Who do you think is going to call you? Who do you think is going to call you? Jesus? Nobody's going to call your number. Plus, the number won't be shown on the comment section. So what we have is another little man, troll, Lilliputian of YouTube, trolling for answers. But the answer he got was not exactly the answer he expected. The answer he expected was for me to back down. No, I won't back down. If I make the challenge is real. Come on, Region 6, let's see what you got. Now, if he says one more thing about what did I do and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's all bullshit. He's not going to come to Bahal. Put your number up there so I can call you. I'll call you right now. Give me a Globe number. I'll call you right now on the phone. No one will see the number except me. Put your number up there. See what you got. Come on, Region 6. Don't back down. You can use the money as much as anybody else. Come on. Don't back down. Go, go, Bobo sister. Welcome to the machine. Thank you for stopping by, Go, go, Bobo sister. Hello. Scott Del Fuego. Okay, Region 6 is just trolling. Can a mod please? Okay, he's wasting our time. I'm reading the comments. Can a mod please tell me what I did wrong? Okay, he's a Lilliputian of YouTube. Scott Del Fuego says, in the days of old, when knights were bold and real men fought in wars, to a challenge they would rise, treasure or their life, but now seem to be a mouse that roars. That's poetry. That's not even wordsmithing. That's poetry in motion. In the days of old, says Scott Del Fuego, in the days of old, wait a second, in the days of old, when knights were bold and real men fought in wars, to a challenge they would rise, betting treasure or their life, but now seem to just to be a mouse that roars. That's true. See, we won't hear from Region 6 unless more blah, blah, blah. At this point, he hasn't given me the information. If he doesn't do it in the next comment, just block him. Or time him out so we don't have to read his crap. Because that's all it is. Region 6 is just a crap shooter on YouTube. So we have that second challenge. Region 6 just backed down. He backed down. You saw him back down. No, I didn't state that I owned the land. And we're not going to talk about this anymore until you put up your telephone number and I call you. Okay, Region 6, you're trolling now. I'm not going to give you the information you want until we meet. That's not problematic. Okay, you've just been muted. Okay, so Region 6 is trolling. He wants me to put the information, or my information. I'm telling you I can build a hotel on the land, and I have the permits and plan. But Region 6, he's going to go on and on and on. He's going to have another 10 or 15. That's what trolls do. So Region 6, get your stuff together. Figure it out, how you want to get here, when you want to get here. Bring the money with you. Don't worry about my money. Okay? And then we'll put that. See, he's trolling for not only financial information, but he's trolling to see if I can build a hotel, if the plans are done. He wants me to take the plans out and put them on YouTube, but he doesn't want to wager $10,000 on it. See, now he changed everything around. Come on, Region 6. Oh, you've been blocked. Okay, so you have trolled. You had your opportunity to leave your telephone number and your information, but you didn't do that. No, you're not asking legitimate questions. The wager is $10,000. You say I don't have plans and permits. Stop asking side issue questions. Just put your money where your mouth is. Just put your money where your mouth is. All right, let me see if I can. I can't even get to his page, Region 6, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's go on. Andrew Stemets, what a cowardly troll, says Andrew. I am having fun, Jack. That's right. None of these guys. That's all he is. He's one of those Lilliputian troll accounts trying to get me to give them the information on YouTube for free. when I don't have to do that. The wager is $10,000. I'll make it clear again. The wager is $10,000. I state I have plans and permits to build a 4-story hotel. That's the wager. Region 6 went off, oh, no, and then back down and, well, can I get a mod? Can I get a mod to tell me what I did wrong? Troll. Total, absolute troll. There we go. And we know who that is, by the way. Well written, fastly typed out. It's a sperm receptacle that troll. It's a sperm receptacle type troll. I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but I don't really care who it is. Put your money where your mouth is. So that's 2 challenges. The house in Key Largo challenge has never been taken. The fact that I have plans and permits to build a hotel, that's never been taken. Region 6 doesn't count. He was trolling. Number 3, did I or did I not own a barge and crane service? Yes, I did. For 11 years, I owned 12 years, I owned a barge and crane service. And yet I hear stories that I never owned a barge or a crane. So that's 3 Fazio challenges that have gone unanswered. Number 4, did I ever buy a brand new Cobra from the factory? Yes, I did. That challenge has gone unanswered. Number 5, did I ever in fact own a Formula SR311 Ocean Racer with twin 454s, 365 horsepower each engine, 730 horse, naturally aspirated? Yes, I did. Another challenge that has gone unanswered. What's that, 5? We can go on and on and on, but every time someone calls me a liar and I can prove otherwise, I will wager them as much money as they feel they can lose to put up videos and allow people to call me a tax evader and state it in commentaries on YouTube. I'm not real sure if you're allowed to do that, but I don't appreciate it. But in another respect, it's not true. It can't be proven. Prove that I owe back taxes. I want you to prove it. I dare you to even try to prove it, because the people on YouTube that have made comments in the last 48 hours that I'm a tax evader and that I owe back taxes, you are liars. There is no truth to what you say. There is no proof to anything that anybody has said that states I owe back taxes or I haven't paid all my taxes. So that makes all of you liars, not just on some insignificant little thing, but to state it publicly that I'm a tax evader or I owe back taxes. How much money would you like to wager on your worthless commentaries that I'm a tax evader or I haven't paid my taxes? You won't wager anything. Just like Region 6, the troll, just like him, you are liars. He started out, he'll take the challenge, and then he wants all the information for me to prove that I have what I have, and then he disappears, or he backs out, or can the moderator please tell me what I said wrong? What you said wrong is you'll take the challenge, and then you want questions answered for me to prove that what I say is true, so that, yeah, then you won't have to take the challenge, because you're a coward. You are a coward. You want to take the challenge, but then you want me to prove that I can prove what I say I can prove, and then you won't have to take the challenge, and then I proved it for free. It's going to cost you money if you want to take the challenge. Take the challenge. Don't be afraid. Take the challenge. Don't be a coward. Don't be called a liar. Don't do that to yourself. Your ego will not allow you to be called a liar. Take the challenge. I'm calling you a liar, all of you who have said I owe back taxes. I'm calling you a liar. And I'm calling you a liar that I owe current taxes. And I'm calling you a liar that anybody, that you people in general, there's a group of you, are telling people they're going to have to owe money to the Philippines government, or they owe money to the Philippines government. They might one day owe money to the Philippines government. That's probably true. But no one owes anybody any money as of yet. The law or ordinance only went into effect last week. What, you think they can put out an ordinance in the Philippines and make it happen? It's going to take several weeks for them to gather the information that they need. And then when they gather that information, you may or may not, according to whatever rules I can find out when I go there, you may or may not owe taxes. But to imply that anyone owes anybody any money 4 days or 5 days after a notice comes out that they're going to apply taxes to YouTube accounts, that is falsifying information or false information. That's a lie. Another lie that multiple people have been caught with. Nobody owes the taxes for the new ordinance yet. First, they have to register. They're going to be given, they have to give them several weeks. I don't know how long, probably 2 to 3 weeks to register at least. And then after they register, then the taxes will be rated at what you owe the government. Simple thing like that. But no one owes taxes because of this new ordinance as of this moment. Until the ordinance takes effect, it's mandatory to give them your information. Fine. When they have the information and I have the information to give you, I'll give it to you. But right now, even you give them your information, your taxes won't be due until either your quarterly taxes or yearly taxes are due. No one at this time owes money. But there are people on YouTube saying, he owes money. It's not going to be retroactive. You can't retroact certain things, or it's not written that it's going to be a retroactive tax. And even if it was retroactive, when? Till January 1st? How far back can they go? Till the day you were born? The first business license you had? This is the problem with these people that never have owned a business. They don't understand business. Okay, the Philippines put out a new ordinance that you owe taxes on your YouTube income. Okay. People saying, they're going to, people that earn money on YouTube aren't going to lose anything. They're just going to pay their portion of the tax. The money that they get is still going to be usable. Whatever the tax comes off of that, just cost of doing business. I try to explain that to you people, but you don't understand it. And now that the troll accounts are multiplying in multiple directions, you look even more stupid. One of you says something stupid and another person admonishes your stupidity, and it becomes compounded with more stupidity. No one owes any taxes yet. No one. Until you register and it's your allotment of earnings are registered, and then the government figures it out, and it'll all be legitimate because it's all electronic. Until the tally of what you made as to what you're responsible for comes out, and then they send you a notice that you owe a certain amount of money and you have 30 days to pay it. or whatever, however many days grace they give you, until that grace period is up, you don't owe anybody any money yet. Why is there such stupidity on YouTube? I don't know. I'm going to read the comments. Andrew Steinmetz says, what a cowardly troll. Yeah, he won't be back. No, what he was doing is trying to get me to show him all my paperwork on YouTube. And then what? I told him I have these permits and plans. Make the wager happen. Make it happen. Make it happen. Well, no, then he wants me to prove all this stuff on YouTube, and then he'll say, oh, okay, you got everything. No, the idea of a wager is for you to prove me that I'm a liar. That's the idea of the wager. You wager your belief, your feelings against my definite fact that I have plans and permits. And then you wager your feelings that, oh, he has on a fedora. He doesn't have plans or permits. No, I am telling you, you're a coward. You came up and you said in one of your first comments, I'll take that challenge. Done. You already knew what it was about, and then you backed out of it. Can you get a moderator and tell me what I did wrong? That was like, I could picture you backing out of it the best way you could. And that's what you did. Put your telephone number up there. Nobody could see it except me. But he didn't do that either. And he still hasn't done that because he knows he's going to lose. That's the idea of making a wager with somebody. So we have 5 challenges. We have the house in Key Largo. We have the Cobra Mustang. We have the Ocean Racer. We have the barge. I also had a crane service pile driving unit, but I only think I have pictures of that project. That goes back into 1980, probably 84. So that's not a legitimate challenge because I don't have video of the pile driver. I have pictures of it. Then we have, what other challenges do we have? No, well, let's just leave it as everybody that runs their mouth on YouTube, everybody, like Region 6, everybody that runs their mouth on YouTube that backs down. Region 6 can still leave his telephone number up there. Call him right now. Globe. Send me a Globe number. Nope, still don't see him. Okay, let me get back up to the comments. Warren H. People who don't understand the law and make comments like that are fools. That's true, says Warren H. He's lucky Warren H. didn't smash the delete right away, says Jack Thompson. I need to do one thing here. Okay, hold on a second. I need to do something. Just give me about 45 seconds. When the computer went down before, I lost a screen. I want to get a screen back up here. I'm going to be about 45 seconds. And then I'll finish reading Warren H's comments. Yeah, I mean, this is clear as day stuff. Either I have permits and I can prove it and I win $10,000, or I don't have permits and I can't prove it and you win $10,000. But Region 6 changed it all around. Region 6 is not making the wager. I am making the wager. Region 6 doesn't make the parameters of the wager. I determine the parameters of the wager. The wager was clear as day. And right now, I'm going to have to do this entire thing again. Hold on. Region 6 does not control my thought process, nor does Region 6 control the parameters of a wage that I make. I made the wage. Region 6 says, I'll take the challenge, and then he backed out. And that's what any intelligent person would do. All right, so hold on. I have to do something right over here. And I am gonna get this done. Hallelujah. I am gonna get this done. Hallelujah. It's gonna take another 30 seconds. Hallelujah. Oh, I'm doing a few different things. And also, while I am doing this, it's already done. Okay, that's good. That happened quick. I should tell you that once again, yesterday, the computer that's right here, right? I need to type something in. Is coming to alrighty. I have to send Warren a message. By the way, Warren's living quarters have been secured up until and after Thanksgiving from July 15th. So that's not problematic. So there are all people that are going to say Warren H. is not coming to the Philippines. He is coming to the Philippines. So now I can get back to the comments. I had a talk to the apartment rental. Okay, so let's see where we are here. Okay. I would think that that's possible, Warren. I was about to, but thought it was going to be fun when Michael Fazio'd him. That's a good, I like that expression. Michael Fazio'd him. I did put him in a position that he either had to back up what he said or back down. So far, he backed down. Now, he said, I got Fazio. Yeah. Winning $10,000 is always a pleasure. Now, I have done this challenges my whole life. I had a favorite challenge I used to do back in the 80s. But people would say, no, don't try to build a deck as good as Fazio builds a deck. And don't think you can do it, even if you work next door and tried to copy it. It won't happen. And I would wager people sight unseen that the decks I built were nicer than the decks that they built. And no one ever, well, a few people would take, like, if I reduced it down to $100, they would say, all right, let's go see your deck work. And I would bring them to one of my decks, one of my more exclusive decks. Some of the decks were 30 by 60, that's 1,800 square feet, multiple layers, then deck and dock systems attached to it with wet bars and 36-foot flag poles and benches and jacuzzis built in. And I would take them to that job. Was one particular job. I have a lot of pictures of it. They would just give me the whatever money was wagered. They wouldn't even Nothing would compare with the work that I did on that particular job, because the fella I did the job for, money was no object. And when he said, I want to have the nicest deck in all of where we lived, it's going to cost you. He said, I don't care. And I said, if you don't care, I don't care. And I hired 11 Polish men back in the year, probably 1983. And we went to work probably in April, and we didn't finish that deck till the following year. It was a multi-level, multi-faceted deck with pool, an 18-foot pool and sub-buried pool, a jacuzzi, benches, flower boxes, flagpoles, docks, decks, pilings. Yeah, they would just come and look, and they say, yeah, you're right. Your deck is better than my deck. So if I wager you the money, rest assured you're going to lose. Warren says, I think it was a man in a dress, to be honest, Michael. If you get who I am referring to, which I know you do, you never know what people dress up like when they're alone. Some guys, I could tell you the story about Joe the mailman. Oh, boy, he was my friend. Actually, Joe the mailman, I'll tell you a little story. Okay, so Joe the mailman, and I won't tell you his last name, and a guy named Jimmy, and I won't tell you his last name. Probably Peter was there, because we were inside a bridge, and I was about, I don't know how old I was, young, 6, 7 years old. And they taught me how to curse. I remember that because my mom smacked me when I said, look what I learned today. And she smacked me. I was about 6 or 7 years old. Anyway, that guy, Joe, and I always remained friends. He was 5 years older than me. This is a true story. So with that, Joe was an Italian man, and he was a good looking guy. He had like a brownish curly hair, big build, big stocky guy. And he was a ladies' man. The ladies loved him. Because he was the first person at that age to have a beard or to be able to grow a mustache. And he also had a good job working for the United States Post Office. And he bought a Corvette back in maybe couldn't have been more than 1970, but he bought a 63 Corvette with the split window in the back. And he was going out with a girl named Arlene, and she was the prettiest girl in the neighborhood. Then he went out with another girl, Kathy. I could tell you their last names, but I won't. But I remember them clear as day. So these were the two prettiest girls in the entire area, as we looked at pretty girls that we knew about in the area. So Joe went out with both of these women, and then he still worked for the post office, and that car was the smokingest car in the neighborhood. Boy, that was the cat's butt. Until Vitas Gerulaitis came around with his Ferrari or Maserati or whatever it was to drop off beers and stuff to the people where we hung out at the park. That Joe's car was the car. Everybody stood back and looked at it. And Vitas Gerulaitis, the famous tennis player, he would stop by because Joe and all of that age group people, and which were 5 years older than me, and Vitas were all friends. But when Vitas became very famous, he would drop off cases of beer and alcohol and things when he'd see us hanging out at the park or by wherever we hung out, he would just stop, pull up, and I think he had a Ferrari or a Maserati. I don't remember which one. I wouldn't know the difference even if I saw one today, which one they are. But anyway, so Joe, real man now, he went out with the most beautiful women in the entire neighborhood. Well, Eventually, he married the woman Arlene, and he was married to her for about, well, a couple of years. So when I was probably 27 or 26, they got a divorce. And I said to her, you know, you guys have been going out with each other on and off since you were 13. We all grew up in the same, you know, small area. And she said, yeah, it didn't work out. I said, well, why did you, you know, because you're still at that age, 26, 27, you still might ask your close childhood friends a personal question. And I said, why did you guys break up? I mean, you look like they were the perfect couple. They went out with each other for like 5 years before they got married. Well, Arlene said that because I came home, Arlene said she came home from work one day and Joe was dressed up in her undergarments, walking around with red lipstick on and in a pair of high-heeled pumps. So I laughed and I says, okay, you're not going to answer me. And I walked away. And a few years went by and he married Kathy, who was also the same one of the girls he did when we were children. And that marriage lasted several years. And then they got divorced. But Kathy, I was more her brother Stephen's friend as a child. So I didn't even know where Kathy went. I only just heard I knew they got married, but I didn't know they got divorced. So anyway, Stephen and I were friends, but I never brought up the subject because at that, I guess I was in my 30s. It wasn't important to me why they broke up. Okay, so now move ahead from 1985, move ahead to 1990. And I'm getting ready to move to Florida. And it's snowing and it's sleeting and it's hailing and it's cold and it's rainy. And this is the night I found the cross of Christ. So I'm walking down the block and his house was about 200 feet from before I found the cross of Christ that night. And it's that big gold cross I have in some of my videos. Okay, so I'm walking down the block and I see a blonde-headed woman on the steps with the screen door open and the door open towards me, standing on Joe's steps. And I look, and whoever was in, you know, they were in short, some kind of like, you know, undergarment with a bra and a long blonde wig with the hair flowing in front and back of their shoulders and a pair of pumps. And they were smoking a cigarette on Joe's steps. So I didn't want to say hello to her. And I figured Joe was in the background somewhere, like, you know, standing at the door that I couldn't see because I was raining and sleeting and snowing and it was dark. It was winter. It was 10 o'clock at night. And I said, hey, Joe, how you doing? And the woman, who I thought was a woman, on the steps says, I'm all right, Mike. How are you? And I could see her lips moving. Why don't you come in for a drink? And I looked at him and I kept walking. Then a few minutes later, I discovered the cross of Christ. But that story, so on the way back, he was still standing on the steps and wanted to know if I was coming in for a drink. I said, no, sorry, gotta go. And I actually never saw Joe again, or her, or him, or them. And I actually moved to Florida just a few weeks later. But you never know what people are going to wear in the privacy of their own home. I mean, there have been videos on YouTube where lots of men dress up in women's clothes. Even Eric Dubai has dressed up with lipstick and makeup and stuff on, and that surprised me. Although I don't believe he is gay, but it surprises me when men do that. I personally I don't ever remember getting dressed up as a child in play or whatever like that. But I have seen other men on YouTube dress up like that, and it amazes me that it even amazes me when a man wears women's underwear. I never saw any of my friends in anything but boxers or briefs, but I've seen people on YouTube dressed up with women's underwear, and I don't understand it. Did they say that the silk is smoother? I mean, we were just brought up to wear men's underwear, boxers or briefs. Which one is it? There wasn't a third option, but apparently today, in today's world, there's a third option. So I guess to each his own, but gotta laugh. Let's go back to the comments. Joe. I wonder where he is now, or she is. Well, I don't know. Scott Del Fuego, wordsmithing here, says, then starts putting other conditions on to try and avoid the challenge. You have never claimed to own the land in the Philippines. Scott with his instantaneous 100% accurate memory. That is true. Never, ever one time, not ever, did I ever say I bought the land. So there was more trolling for more information. But the only important aspect that Scott just said is that he saw what Region 6, the new and now infamous troll on my channel, Region 6 is. He saw what Region 6 was doing. He was trying to sidestep the issue, saying that I claimed I owned the land. If Region 6 had even this much intelligence, before he would make a wager, he would know the facts. Never, ever, not one time ever, did I say I bought the land. There you go. So Region 6 was sidestepping the issue because Region 6 is trolling. That was a lie. Region 6, in and of itself, whatever Region 6 is number one, a liar for making that statement, and two, a coward for not backing up his challenge. He was the one who took the challenge. I only offered the challenge. So that's what happens when I make a challenge. We have people. How hard would it be for the people on YouTube that say I never owned a house in Key Largo to prove or disprove it? I mean, it's really easy. Either Fazio owned a house in Key Largo and his name is on the deed and mortgage, or he didn't. Which one is it? Do you have $10,000 to lose? Just make it clear, yes or no, and then we'll get the rest of the details worked out. All right, so let's move on. And we see more trolling. Thank you, Scott, for paying attention. So, well, Scott pays attention to detail. So then Region 6, this is who Scott is talking about, start putting other conditions on to try to avoid the challenge. You never claimed to own the land. Thank you, Scott. Scott Del Fuego, nope, I've never heard Michael say he owns the land. In fact, he has mentioned he leases the land. Thank you, Warren. How can anyone be a tax evader for a 6-day-old law, says Warren H. How can anyone be a tax evader for a 6-day-old law that makes the tax not due for 12 months? Are they simpletons for making those statements? Yes. They're trolling, they're abusing, they're ignorant, they're cowards, they're liars for stating that people are tax evaders. There was a video that referenced me as a tax evader. with no proof. So I guess that would be slander and libel. Screenshotted, all that stuff has been done, but it's really not necessary at this point. But I just want you to know that no one on YouTube or anywhere else in any venue will ever come to any other conclusion that other than that all my taxes have always been paid on time. That's all you need to know. If you feel otherwise and you want to report me to this, let me tell you what happens when you report somebody to the IRS. They'll take your report. I think, if I remember correctly, you need to give them your name. I've never done it. But one of the things that could happen is the IRS will take your name and information, and the first thing they do is they'll look up whether or not I committed fraud, and they'll find out that I didn't. But your name will go on record that you filed a false claim. I don't know what that means to them. I would imagine if they reviewed your complaint, I would imagine they would make a note that this person and your name made a false complaint. And then anytime your name popped up in the computer, it would kick up that you're making another complaint. Maybe one is valid, maybe one is not. Maybe two are valid, maybe three are not. I would imagine they keep track of that. They keep track of everything else. So have fun with that. And in the meantime, take the $10,000 Fazio challenges. They're there for your benefit. I do this for you. I'm like the government trying to make you rich. Scott Del Fuego, SR 311 by formula is not an inexpensive boat. Could still get $25,000 to $40,000 for a clean 20 to 30-year-old vessel. Okay, so the SR 311 formula, I looked them up online about a month ago. They are still selling. First of all, it's considered a yacht. The vessel I own said this yacht built by formula and the date of manufacture. Okay. They hold their value for one simple reason. Well, first of all, the name formula is synonymous with ocean racers, as is several other famous names. But like cigarette boats are synonymous with ocean racers. The odd thing about the boat that I owned was that boat, and each boat is designed a little differently each year so that they can get more miles per hour out of the boat, or the boat takes the waves differently. You know, they don't design a boat, build it, and they say, okay, that's it, we're done. The boat and the year of the boat that I owned, when it was manufactured, that hull design itself, forget the motors, forget the $7,000 windshield on the boat, forget the $5,000 seats that were in the boat. The hull of the boat is, in ocean racer history, in that size and that category, considered one of the best built and designed and sound hulls. Just forget all the rest of the peripherals. That hull design was considered one of the strongest, most streamlined, and most able to take waves in that size category, the 10-meter category. So it doesn't hold, it holds its value because of the immaculate, the gut of that boat was just unbelievable. All crushed velvet and suede with a little sink, and it had a bathroom and with a wet shower and stuff in there. But that's all besides the point. The guy who bought my boat, he bought that boat because of the hull design, and he came from a far distance with a trailer to buy that boat, and he didn't care. He wanted that boat. He wanted that boat. He wanted that hull, whatever. And he builds racing boats. So then that's how I learned about this information. I said, why would you pay me this much money for this boat? I mean, no one else would, but that's what I wanted for the boat. Otherwise, I would have did something else with the boat altogether. Probably would have put it in a marina, and I would have let them take over the, they could have had the boat. One of my friends that owned a marina, but this guy wanted that boat. He did not want. I said to him, you got to pay me this much money. He said, I don't care. I want the boat, and he wanted the boat to make. And the motors that were in the boat, he says, I'm scrapping those motors. I doubt he scrapped the motors. I doubt he scrapped the drives. I would say he took those motors and drives and sold them as a package, usable, workable engines, but those engines were not what he was keeping in the boat. He was putting in over 600 horsepower per engine, two of them, left and right hand rotation engines in the boat. I don't know what he did with it, but that's what he said the plans were. Because I know he bought, I forgot the name of the drive. I had other ocean racer things that went with the boat that weren't installed that I had bought when I got the boat or from a company. Hydraulic, they operate hydraulically, and they changed the plane of the boat. But these were Super Duty. These were racing hydraulically actuated trim tabs, and each trim tab had a value of about $2,000+ with the two pistons and the stainless steel bracketing and everything like that. It was $2,000 per unit, and I had left and right, of course. But that guy took everything. He took the extra props. He took the trim tabs. He took the radio package that I put in the boat. The radio was worth $1,800. The sound system I had in the boat. I told him, if you don't want that sound system, I'll take. No. I want it. He only gave me about $500 for the sound system, but I would have just pulled the electronics out. It worked fine, but yeah. So that boat still has a value of $25,000 to $30,000 as is. But if someone wants it for the racing hull, that year, that model, that particular size boat is one of the most famous racing hulls ever built in all of Formula history. They admit it, and so does everybody else. Thanks, Scott. Jack Thompson's going to change the name of his YouTube name to Taxi Vader. Taxi Vader, like a darkened Vader, like someone who wears women's clothing. Good old name says Warren H. Andrew Steinmetz moves in with a big comment from Andrew Stein. Are you another coward, ma'am, sir? Ma'am, sir? Yes, we know that. How do you get, and I'm not even going to read the comment. Unless you want to make the wager, we're going to bypass anybody who doesn't say, I want to make that wager with Michael Fazio. Thank you very much. I want to take Michael Fazio's money. Thank you very much. Wager. Thank you, Andrew Steinmetz. Steinmetz. Wow, a nice Jewish fellow we have there. Andrew Steinmetz. That's a Jewish name. We're Italian. We have lots of different option is unstable. All right. Scott Del Fuego, I think I will be Patty O. furniture. I can't. These. Hold on. Let me get this. Much better. Much better. Scott says, I think I will be patio fernanda. Scott says, I think I will be patio fernanda. Fenector. Patio fenector. There must be some hidden meaning if Scott Del Fuego said it. Ma'am, sir, you can develop leased land if it is in your contract. That is simple. Thank you, Warren. Ma'am, sir, have you built in the Philippines exactly? Ma'am, sir, is a troll. So where exactly have you built in the Philippines? If you don't answer in 10 seconds, you will be blocked. Goodbye, ma'am, sir. Okay, we knew that was a troll. Scott Del Fuego says, ma'am, sir, has, but in the Philippines. Ma'am, sir, has built in the Philippines, says Scott Del Fuego. We must blindly believe that some unnamed troll speaks the truth. But a man who puts his name and face and contact info on his channel and backs it with $20,000 worth of wagers is doubted. Yet, you know, from that perspective, ma'am, sir, this is what trolls do. And the psychosis that goes along and backs up these troll accounts. I mean, a video appeared on YouTube stating that Michael Fazio was a tax evader. And then there are X amount of comments proving that they either believe I'm a tax evader or that they're going to check with their fathers that work for the IRS that I'm a tax evader, or they're going to look into it further and prove that I'm a tax evader, and yet no proof of such. So basically, they come on YouTube so that they can look at their comments on some worthless chat. What do they call that? Chat dialogue? That they just feel, this makes them feel important. This is what a troll or defines a troll. The definition that they feel more important, that they can prove a certain thing when they can't prove anything. And their cowardness, the cowardliness of it all, is that they're going to definitely prove this. And then when they can't prove it, they change the worthless troll account name to something else. And they never show their real face, like Scott Del Fuego says, and they never back up their statements. Their entire purpose is to troll, to get somebody Fazio'd. I like that expression, Fazio. He got Fazio'd. Well, Memsar got Fazio'd. Region 6 got Fazio'd. Who's next? Who wants to take the next challenge? And there are many challenges that have gone unanswered. You know that. You do know that. We're not talking about one or two. There are multiple more challenges where people, they can do this and they can do that and they can do this and they can do that and they can't do any of it. It's all inside a figment of their imagination. They can't do nothing of what they state they can do. See, that's the difference between myself and the trolls. If I say I owned a house in Key Largo, I'll show you the mortgage papers. If I say I owned a Cobra, I'll show you the registration. That makes the people that say I didn't do any of those things, it makes them liars, and it makes them cowards for not admitting that they lied. So, I mean, what more benefit can I get to know that the person who makes the statements in the comments section or the commentary of the live streams that they're making these statements are, what more satisfaction can I get than to know that the people who have made the false statements are now liars and cowards for not backing up their statements, or cowards for not saying, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. That you can't get any more satisfaction out of it than that. To know that a person that lied and can't admit that they made a mistake, that makes them a coward compounded to being a liar. That's pretty big satisfaction for me. And there are multiple other wagers I put out there that makes multiple people cowards and liars and cowards. They all go together. Now, moving on. Jack Thompson, how many man hours were charged? I got painting in exchange for rent reductions. I know where you're going with that. How many man hours? I would say that to paint a door, I don't know. But I guess by the time if you had to buy the paint, you got to spend a few hours to get the paint. If I was going to be a contractor and I had to paint the door frame and a little bit more, I'd say 2 hours to get the material, an hour to lay down some newspaper on the floor and tape it down. That's 3 hours, and probably an hour and a half to paint the door jamb without making it, make a nice coat. I'd say 6 hours to paint the door jamb. I'll give you for your time, Jack. Warren says, Scott Del Fuego, of course, a first-time visitor, mum, sir, is to be believed over a man who wagers real money with financial backing. Yep, that's the YouTube way. That's the YouTube way. The name Ma'am Sir makes me think of a man in a dress again. I didn't think about that, but there is reason to your rhyme. All right, let's go back up to the comments. Oh my God, I got a lot of comments. I'm going to have to run through some comments, baby. We see more trolling. More trolling. Okay, we have a question. Warren. Capam 100. Have you got $10,000 to lose? Heard of saying don't judge a book by its cover. Bye. All right, so Warren did some work there. He blocked Capam. Next troll, please. Warren is just called batter up on the trolls, baby. Batter up on the trolls. Next troll, please. Warren says, I will put 10,000 US in escrow account tomorrow to match anyone who wants to take a challenge. Yeah, baby. That's true. Warren H., it appears that dude was an angry ginger. That probably means I don't know what that means. I won't even take a guess. Jack Thompson, I would not bet against that. Message deleted by Jack Thompson. View deleted message. Timed out. Let's see what we got here. Bobby Choi got blocked because he doesn't want to take the challenge. He just wants to troll. Adios, Bobby Choi. Okay, Bobby Choi. We can spot trolls and therefore take action, says Warren H. Bobby Choi is a troll. Where is your personal information, Bobby Choi? Put it up on the screen and I'll call you right now. U.S. number, no problem. Globe number, no problem. Put it up on the screen and I'll call you right now. What do you want to know? Anything short of that? Adios. That's right. Funny, says Warren H. All the people blocked today have never been on the channel before, yet they think they know everything and are Philippines law experts. They don't know anything and they're not experts on the law. The definition of an expert has been who is under pressure. The definition of an expert is a has-been who is under pressure. A little hint as to who you might be talking about. No need. I can't wait until the video's debut of Warren H. collaborating with Mr. Fazio upon Warren's arrival in the beautiful island of Bohol. I'm a kid wanting for Christmas for these streams and the hotel. That's true, baby. Warren is coming to the Philippines. And again, for those of you who just arrived, Warren's accommodations have been secured. Probably, well, they've been secured up until November, from July 15th. And without any reservation, I could extend that through next year if necessary, because Warren has, we have a lot of legal stuff to do to get all the stuff ready to build the hotel. There are still some things that are going to take not much time, just a little bit of money, and we're good to go. So those of you who said that I would never build a hotel, it's going to happen one way or another. Warren's coming, but I have a house in America that I'll be selling. Either way, we're building a hotel. I'm building a hotel. And Warren and I are building a hotel. And Warren's building a hotel. Either way, that's all going to happen. And all the legal stuff, it might take a few weeks to do the legal stuff because a lot of businesses are not open. You have to set up an appointment. I already spoke with one secretary, and the lawyer's available, but you have to make an appointment. He doesn't go to his office every morning. But anyway, all that legal stuff will be taken care of when Warren gets here. So he is coming. Thank you, Scott. Scott is looking forward to Warren's arrival, as am I, actually. Warren reviewed the room that I sent our friends, the room that Warren's going to be staying in, and he's comfortable with the room and the accommodations and the bathroom and the kitchen and everything. So he has a kitchen, he has a bathroom, hot water on demand, all tile, beautiful veranda, balcony, that kind of stuff. Yep. All right, says Jack Thompson, Warren H. Pressure washing is a lady's work. I don't know about that, Jack. I mean, it depends on if you're pressure washing like a building up 60 stories. I wouldn't think a woman would want to do that, when it's cold out because the spray and stuff is splashing on her. But and to be honest, to be fair about pressure washing is ladies' work, I don't think so. I think a pressure washer is a pretty, it's a tool that needs operation. You just can't pick up a pressure washer and think you're going to be a pressure washing expert. That ain't going to happen. Pressure washing something with a little $35 electric pressure washer like your car with 30 pounds of pressure, that's one thing. But I've operated pressure washers with 10,000 PSI. That's not a lady's work. So I would disagree with that statement, but I don't know what pressure washer you're talking about. Well, that, Scott Del Fuego, picking up used birth control in the parks is work for a washerwoman, not a man's man, says Scott Del Fuego. Let's see. Picking up used birth control in the parks is work for a washerwoman, not a man's man. Well, I don't know about that. Just like my friend Joe, who I grew up with, that dressed up in women's clothes, they might enjoy a leisurely job in the parks department, that would be You could have a job in the parks department where you're putting in the benches and then you're breaking up concrete and mixing cement, or you could have a lesser strenuous job. I don't know about that. I guess you could look at it. I personally wouldn't want to be a pressure washer in a parks department or pick up used birth control. That wouldn't be. It would be something I would do for myself. Like when I used to clean out septic tanks, I would crawl into a septic tank with a bucket and clean it out. I have no problem with that. And I even did it for a company, but I was the highest paid man in the company because I was the one who crawled into the tanks. But I wouldn't do it for a menial job. If you were getting paid to do it, yeah, it would probably be worth it. But that's just my opinion. My opinion is that I have more skill sets than to go around pressure washing shit. I would be operating the backhoe or the bobcat. But if I had to start out at some position like that to get into the system, I guess I would do it, but I wouldn't be there long. It wouldn't be like a lifetime goal to be the best pressure washer I could be. I'd want to be the guy who broke up the sidewalks with the backhoe or the bobcat. I have a higher set of standards than most people because of my skill sets. Okay. Scott Del Fuego, what can I work out? Scott Del Fuego from Warren H. What I can work out is that they know I'm comfortably well off, money-wise, yet think I will never meet a venture that won't happen, or never meet in a venture that won't happen. I think they are jealous little people, says Warren H. So Warren H., to condense what he said, is that he has enough money to do this thing and other things too. Warren H. So Scott Del Fuego, what I can work out is that they know I'm comfortably well off money-wise, yet think I will never invest in a venture that won't happen. I think they are jealous little people. That's true. Scott Del Fuego from Jack Thompson. It would be akin to General MacArthur's return. Warren coming to the Philippines and General MacArthur's return. That's a great way of putting it. Thank you, Jack. I like that. Because if you remember, in another venue, in another place, in another time, Warren H. was a general. In fact, he was in charge of the bottom of the flat earth. LOL, Jack. Okay, so let's get, we have stupid chat, and I'm trying to avoid stupid chat. You know that. I want to sell some sponges later, but not so much. I really wanted to get names or name tags on the sponges. Okay, so let me get down to where we are. Oh boy, where the heck am I? Oh boy, here we are. Well, this YouTube makes it hard to keep track of these comments. Okay, haha. I think we need to set some rules for the challenge. Even these simple trolls can understand, says Warren. Warren says, I have $10,000 you can show to put in an escrow account. 2, the ability to get to the Philippines, etc. So Warren is coming to the Philippines. I know a lot of people say, well, you can't get here. No, Warren has a workaround for getting to the Philippines. He's coming to the Philippines, baby. So Warren says, I think we need to set some rules for the challenge. Even these simple trolls can understand. Number 1, he has $10,000 you can show to put in an escrow account. Number 2, the ability to get to the Philippines, etc. Warren also goes on to say, also, if you back out of the loose, half the money for wasting our time. Oh, okay. Also, if you back out, you lose half the money for wasting our time. After you lose, you have to make a video admitting you lost and why. Oh, Warren is putting stipulations into the contract that I never thought of. You have to make a video and you lose half the money that you wagered if you back out. I like that. That kind of reminds me of my dating site profile where I have preferences as to who I will date and who I won't date. Recently, I've been contacted by, hold on, in the last 48 hours. I don't contact them back, mostly. Seven. Let me see how many of these are new. I got one that says hi. Now I have on my profile, I have number one, if you're single. Number two, I would prefer a woman that has no children, that wants to have children. Number three, I would prefer to have a woman that has the ability to swim. Number four, I would prefer to have a woman that has the ability to move to Bahal. And here's what I'm getting. Let me open this up again. I'm looking at a profile, and I'm not going to show you the profile. The woman has children, and then when you read the profile, she has 2 children, but she wants more. That I would choose not to meet. But even in my profile, it's stipulated I would prefer to meet a woman with no children. I'm going to get ready to build a hotel, and I really don't have the time to take care of or desire to take care of another person's children. So it's my preference to meet a woman with no or desire to take care of another person's children. So it's my preference to meet a woman with no children. And yet it says it in my profile. If you have children, please disregard reading any further. I don't wish, and I don't really care what age the children are. That doesn't make a difference to me. I just don't want to devote the time to taking care of somebody else's children. And there are lots of women, even when I was in the city yesterday. I'll get back to the comments in a minute, but these are one profile I'm reading, she has 2 children. It says it in my profile. She never, in that message she sent me, she never says she can swim. It says if you can't swim, I'm not interested in meeting you. It says if you have children, I would prefer not to meet a woman with children. And yet, she tells me she'd like to live in Bahal, and she doesn't tell me that she can swim. And in a profile, it says she has 2 children. So why are you contacting me and sending me your phone number? I'm not real sure what's going on these dating sites, but the reading comprehension of my profile, it's so clear cut. One, primary thing. If you have children, I don't want to get involved with you. 2, if you know how to swim, I would be interested in talking to you, but not necessarily meeting you. 3, if you know how to swim and we talk about it and you have the ability to move to Bahal, we can talk further. 4, what is your job description? 9 out of 10 girls on the internet have no jobs, so no job description. And that's okay. But what you have to understand is if you meet a girl that doesn't have a job, and doesn't have an education to get, or didn't have an education to get a job, that's what you have to deal with. A girl with an education, maybe a high school education. You do want to deal with a girl with just a high school education? You can, you cannot. It's up to you. But there are other prerequisites. One, you have to be athletic, number one. That means swimming. When a girl tells me that she can swim, just to get off topic for a minute, how far can you swim? How far can you swim? I want to know, you go in the water and you head in a direction, how far can you swim? And the average response, I've gotten responses to the other side of the pool, about 16 feet or 30 feet. That's it. Well, at that point, we'd have to put a little life vest on them and tow them, which would be okay. But that's not swimming. A person that can swim, I don't meet a lot of people out there swimming when I'm swimming. I don't meet a lot of people out there swimming when I'm swimming. I'm pretty far out, but I'm a lot further than most of these people will swim. But I haven't met anybody swimming. I meet a lot of free divers because I'm working off the other side of the reef, on the blue water side of the reef. I see a lot of free divers, maybe in a 2-week period. If I go swimming 3 times, I might see 2 pairs of free divers. But I have prerequisites for dating. If they don't meet my prerequisites, I won't answer those emails. But I don't understand why people don't read your profile. That's what it's there for. I get replies. I say to the girl, you don't have a profile. Write something in your profile so I could review it. I don't have to make a profile for you. And she doesn't have to make a profile for me. But the profile option is there so that people will see whether or not they want to talk to them. These girls will do anything to talk to you. You don't understand what it's like living in the Philippines. They are looking, the girls on the dating sites are looking to meet a foreigner. Foreigners have certain expectations or don't have expectations. But these girls don't read your profile to see what your expectations are. Why, I don't know. But my profile is clear as day. And for the people that made a fake profile with my name on it, like I said, I can't stop you from using my, if you take a picture of me and you use that, personally, it doesn't really affect me that much. It only affects me if you are doing something illegal. Like if you make a dating site with my name and face on it, and you start talking about shit that's illegal, the FBI is going to come to your house, not coming to my house. It's going to look at your ISP. So, but I don't really care one way or the other. It just brings traffic to my page. And there really is nothing you could do about it. Could I say I don't like you using my image? I could do that. But how much time do I want to spend with some worthless endeavor like that? But like I said, as long as you don't say anything on that fake dating site profile that you guys got up, if you still have it up, if you break the law using my image and my name, that's your problem. That's not my problem. Anyway, let's go back to the comments. Scott Delfrago, number 1, challenge terms are not negotiable. Know before you participate. Number 2, no back out after the escrow without other party permission. Number 3, money talks and bullshit walks. Cash in escrow before trash talk allowed. Well, so far we've never gotten that far. The most we've ever gotten is back in the 80s. People would, I don't know, they would say that's Michael Fazio. That's the guy who owns the barge and crane service. He's the best deck builder anybody ever knew in my area, for sure. And they would say, I built. No. You don't build better decks than I do. No, that's not true. And I can prove it. How much money do you want to wager? And I would wager them whatever they wanted. Usually a typical bet would be $100. I'd say, look, I'll do you a favor. I'll bring you to my decks first. And then if you still think you'll be able to bet a deck, we'll go to your decks. And they would come to my first deck and they'd say, okay, never mind. They give me the $100. You're not going to beat me if I wager you. It just ain't going to happen. It's just not part of my personality. If I say something, I knew what everybody else's decks look like. There were probably people that could build the same quality. Maybe. I never saw any of that stuff. Maybe today with the new plastic lumber, that's possible. But with what we had to work with back then, my decks were built in the early 80s. They're still there. I went down my area in Queens when I went back to New York last year. Any deck that I went by that I built in the 80s is still there. It's still intact. As long as they preserved the lumber every couple of years, those decks are still standing. That makes them 30 years old, or almost 30 years old. And that's what I built the decks out of, 30-year pressure-treated lumber. Let's get back to the comments. So wagers are welcome, trolls are not. Scott laid out the terms. Number one from Scott Del Fuego, the challenge terms are not negotiable. No before you participate. 2, no back out after escrow without other parties' permission. And that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. Number 3, money talks and bullshit walks. Cash in escrow before trash talk allowed. Uh-oh. Warren has got a tricky and itchy wallet finger. My wallet started to fall off the ceiling. His wallet was floating. Warren H., I agree. But they are cowards, says Jack Thompson, and don't have a sustainable income. Maybe I missed the comment. I think he's talking about the trolls. I know Jack isn't talking about me. Jack knows better. But anyway, Scott Del Fuego, good terms, sir, says Warren H. Jack Thompson, he's so cheap. I think he just flipped the carpet over in his rental property. There's something I'm missing. But Jack, carry on, my friend. Warren H. says, Jack Thompson, they sure don't. They know I gave Michael $3,000 for a personal computer. Why would $10,000 be any different? If they know they're right, why not take up the challenge? Because they're cash poor and bullshit rich, says Warren H. So Warren H. did give me 3,000 Australian dollars for a computer. And by the way, I don't owe any money on taxes on that either, because there has been no taxes levied on my person yet. So I am not in defunct. My taxes aren't in defunct order. My taxes aren't in arrears. I don't owe any taxes on that money. All that money went through a legitimate bank account and is not going to be hidden. And on the sender and the sendees, tax or tax dole that they have to pay, the tax roll that they have to pay, none. In the United States, no taxes are even due until April 15th of 2021. So any of this bullshit that you hear on YouTube that I am a tax evader, it never happened before, it didn't happen this year, and it won't happen next year. So that's all bullshit. So go back to your worthless source, whatever that source is, and say that I called the person a liar. No back taxes are due. All monies as gifts or business investment, otherwise known as capital investment, will be done through bank transfers, and everything will be legitimate and above board. More bullshit from the Lilliputians of YouTube, the trolls of the internet. More bullshit calling me a tax evader, and I am, in fact, not a tax evader. And that might be something that would be against the rules to even state publicly. We're going to find that out. We're going to find that out. So let's go back to the comments. Jack Thompson, Warren H., I agree. But they are cowards and don't have a sustainable income. These are the trolls. Scott Del Fuego, good terms, sir, says Warren H. Now, I don't know who Jack is. He is so cheap. I think he just flipped the carpet over in his rental property. I'm not sure what that's about. But I will tell you that Warren H. did like the video I sent of his new apartment. Yeah, baby. But I will tell you that Warren H. did like the video I sent of his new apartment. Yeah, baby. Warren says, Jack Thompson, they sure don't. They know I gave Michael $3,000 for a personal computer. Why would $10,000 be any different? If they know they're right, why not take the challenge? Because they're cash poor and bullshit rich. That's true. Jack Thompson, extreme jealousy is toxic. That's true. I heard it makes your pee-pee shrink down to a button mushroom, says Warren H. Now, that's theoretical. That jealousy makes your pee-pee shrink down to a button mushroom. That's bullshit. You guys, that's not true. That's not even provable. Don't make up stories. Cash poor and bullshit rich, says Scott Del Fuego. I'm getting stickers made of that. With your permission, Warren H., that's an epic statement. Salamat. All right, so cash poor and bullshit rich. I'm surprised you haven't heard of being street knowledgeable, Jack. I think Scott is just congratulating you on reminding him of a statement like that. But thank you, Scott. Scott, that would be awesome. Stickers. Warren says, you're welcome to use it, Scott. I have been saying that statement for years. LOL. I never thought of stickers. Warren, slacking. Warren was slacking. He didn't think of stickers for that statement. Scott Del Fuego, I'll put in for some stickers. Oh, God. Here we go. LOL, Scott. You're on, Warren. I love that saying. These guys are patting each other on the back now. They're glad-handing each other. Anyone wanting to take the wager just needs send their Skype address, and bingo, the challenge can start. No one's going to take the wager, though. No one will ever take any of my wagers. And now, Warren H. wagers. No one will ever do that. Because here's the simplest way I can put it. If I make a wager, you can't beat me.